seeing the factory, seeing the mix, and then all of a sudden I just see these molds coming out, and then the Lord just zooms it and it just goes, ta-da! Celestial, look at how they make people. It has been one tough day of a day today. That's all I will say. That's how it was when Yah was showing me the factory. They work there night and day to make bots. Android women, and the majority of the android women that I saw coming up were exclusively white and blonde. But God told me they make other hair colors and other skin colors too, but nowhere in the same amount as the tall blonde dolls. And the Lord was impressing upon my heart. I'm just staring at this thing, right? I'm looking and I'm thinking, why is it always me? And then the Lord is telling me, oh no, don't worry. They make other hair colors. They make the brunettes and they make other skin colors. They make the other darker skin tones. But he said, demand informs supply, exactly as it is in business. And he said, nowhere on earth has there been more demand for the blonde white lady than in America. Not even in, so this is not even in Denmark, where they tend to pop up more like that just naturally. He said nowhere. He said that this thing has been shaped and put before them as a standard. The tall blonde, the tall blue-eyed blonde, and then after her, the tall green-eyed blonde, and then their poor sister, the tall brown-eyed blonde. And by the time the brown eyes are coming out, the hair is not as platinum, as Marilyn as before. God was saying, oh no, the demand informs the supply. The highest demand for this aesthetic is here in the United States. And so that is why they produce these blonde dolls. And so this thing that came out when it finally zoomed, because I was looking from behind and then it would just came close, and I basically saw that they were pulling life-sized Barbie out of that vat. The Barbie doll from Mattel is the exact proportions that they use to make the living silicone android woman that is everywhere. God said, this doll is everywhere in the population, Celestial. It is everywhere. He said it is copulating with young men. It is marrying young men. This doll participates in the census and says things like, yes, my husband works, but I'm here. I can answer your questions. We are a household of 5, and I'm the mother here. He said that they are so firm and energetic in bed to the point that a man thinks, I found my dream. I found my dream. But God says, it is living death in that bed with them, drying up their essence, using their money to get them down to poverty levels. He said, the doll will sit at the table with you and gaslight you to the point of madness, then look at you and smile the brightest smile, which over time makes the man think that he is crazy or accusing, but he is not. God says he is in the house with Satan, but he does not know it. And I will just tell you briefly what I've seen. What it is there's this doll that you who went to fashion school use. You know your doll. She has shoulders but no arms. And then she has a very upright and perky bust, and then she is dipped in sharply at the waist and then out like this at the hips. And then for most of you, your doll cuts off just below hip level. And you're supposed to put jackets, you're supposed to put dresses, you're supposed to put blouses on your doll and learn how to sew and get female proportions from your doll. So just imagine something like that, the basic doll shape, but then the whole body. So then this one will have a head, the mold, it will have arms, it will have everything, and then they just dip it into the living silicone, and then she picks up flesh. And if they want to make her bustier, if they want to make her more fleshy, maybe a size 8, a size 10, 12, then they will simply dip her again and dip her again and dip her again, and she simply picks up layers of silicone flesh They just dip her and put her to dry, and then she comes back for another dipping, and then she just gets bustier and bigger. Or if they want her super skinny, size 0, size 2, then she just gets maybe 1 or 2 dippings just to have some meat on her bones, and then she comes. As I'm looking at you and you're looking at me, you know that you have seen these people. You know that you have seen them walking around. You know that they are all on the runway. And you know that if you spent a lifetime eating only parsley and prayer, you will never get to that shape. You have tried. You have tried. You have done bulimia. You have tried anorexia. You have never achieved